St. John of the Cross tells us that the first language of God is silence. I don't know about you, but silence is hard to come by, which has me a little concerned sometimes if I really do take time to hear the voice of God. Even here, I live on a farm. I'm out in a forest in the middle of nowhere on this farm, and there's wind and trucks and all this noise. There's constantly noise everywhere in our lives. And even now, in this quarantine, you might feel the same way. So today, Holy Saturday, is a great invitation for us. And Holy Saturday is one of my favorite days of the entire church year for that reason. This is a day when we're invited deeper into trust, when we're invited to sit in this space between the cross and the resurrection and stay there and remain and see what God speaks into our hearts. The thing about silence is, when we really take that time to hear the voice of God, sometimes the things that He tells us, the things He reveals or challenges us to, are not what we expect. And they kind of scare us. Sometimes we receive these ideas, these motivations from God to do things that make us uncomfortable, that really put us outside our comfort zone. I'm living that right now, in that I had this dream that was born out of prayer to create a grotto here in our backwoods. This is the start of it. As you can see, it's very much a work in progress, and it's been so humbling because rocks are really heavy and my arms are not strong. So I'm very much outside my comfort zone in this, but I also feel assurance that this is one concrete way that I can use this time, this Holy Saturday that we're living in, this time of waiting, to do something concrete for the Lord. I don't know where it's going to lead me. I have no idea how this is going to come together, but I just keep taking it one day at a time. And as uncomfortable as it is, every day, with every rock I carry, I get a little bit stronger. And every day, God invites me deeper. I think today, our invitation is to look at Mary Magdalene in particular this Holy Saturday as a witness of what this looks like, of what it looks like to just show up, not even knowing what you're looking for, what to expect. Mary knew Jesus so well, and she loved Him so much, and she was there to the bitter end. She was there at His crucifixion and death and saw everything. And so at the time of the resurrection, she was there that day because she loved Him, and she drew near, and she kept drawing near, even in the uncertainty of Holy Saturday. Mary had no idea that the resurrection was coming. She knew it was possible, though, because she knew who Jesus was. So she kept showing up every day at that tomb. She kept drawing near to the Lord because she knew who He was, and she knew what was possible. And so for us now, we live in this time of so much uncertainty. We live in a time where we have no idea what's coming. There could very well be a lot more suffering before the resurrection of Easter. And even now, as we prepare for Easter, we know that when it comes, it may not even feel quite like Easter, because we'll still be living in the shadow of this cross. We'll still be living in isolation, in a time of pandemic, in a time of great uncertainty. We don't know when our resurrection will come. But today, on this day of great silence, we're challenged to take time to still our hearts and keep showing up even when it's uncomfortable, to keep showing up to prayer and sitting in that silence to allow God to speak and to invite us and to challenge us into deeper trust every day. We're invited to keep praying the Mass even when we feel like we don't get as much out of it. We're invited to keep showing up at the tomb of Christ and looking for the resurrection. And friends, I have no idea what the future holds for us. But because I know who Christ is, and I know what He's done in my life, and I know what He's done in yours, I know that together, one day at a time, we will keep moving toward the resurrection. So my prayer for you today on this Holy Saturday of our lives, and this extended Holy Saturday moving forward, is that we can continue to grow in trust together, to draw close to the Lord, who is the joy of our souls, and cling to that hope as an Easter people every day on the road ahead. God bless you.